Okay, says it's live now. And coincidentally, there are no frames dropped. Good, good. And if I open up, okay, yep, it says I'm live on the studio page. Okay, can I disable this though? Steam health, okay, so it says it's healthy. Make sure, yep, still no dropped frames, good, good. Alright, so I think we found the sweet spot for the streaming. We're going to, I don't want this playing while I'm streaming though, the little preview. I'm not sure if there's a way to disable it. RGX, no. No, I don't want it to pop out. I guess I can pause it. I wonder if I even need this studio page open. Well, I guess I do if I need to look at the chat. Well, I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Alright, well, this is going to be like a quick rundown of what I'm doing. I just made a new YouTube account, 0 subscribers, no streams. This is the first stream that I'm going to do. And I'm coming to YouTube from Twitch because YouTube kind of allows you to stream in higher quality. And when I was looking back at the streams on my Twitch, it was extremely blurry, and that kind of bothered me. So I'm going to try this out. Not sure how it'll go, but I'm kind of doing a progression of the learning pathways that I do on Unity and the modules that I do in Microsoft Learning that they have for their C# beginner basic type of course. And I've found that it's very beneficial for me streaming my progress because I will ask a lot of open-ended questions while I'm going through it. And I mean, most of the time, I'll end up answering my own questions, or the questions will get answered by the pathway or the tutorial that I'm following, like, maybe 30 minutes later. Or there's some revelation that happens down the line a couple days later. It's like, oh, well, that's why I was asking that question. And on the off chance that these questions don't get answered, I find it extremely useful to just clip a certain part where I ask the question and kind of like detail the parameters of what I'm doing, because I get answers that way, and it saves me time. It saves people that know what they're talking about. They just have to watch a 15-second clip of me asking a question and showing at the same time what I'm asking about. I don't have to spend the time trying to phrase it in a way that's understandable and legible. And that's been extremely efficient for me. Also, I found that streaming this is quite efficient by not having distractions. I'm able to get through quite a bit of content without just not being attentive. I'm able to grind through a lot of the modules and the lessons here without, watching streams or watching videos or scrolling on social media, or you name the distraction. It kind of helps prevent that. And then there's been occasions where I'm actually able to meet people that know what they're talking about, and they're very helpful and insightful, just discussing things with them. And whenever that happens, it's very nice because I usually have a bunch of questions saved up, and I'm able to ask, some things that are on the top of my mind and get those answered, or at least am told where to look or how to look for the answer. So that's very beneficial. Anyways, I think it's going to be. We'll see how the quality is. I'll look at it after the stream, and we'll decide if it's better than Twitch or not. But this will just kind of be a repository of going through as somebody with zero experience. Well, I mean, I do have some experience now, but somebody that started with zero experience, going through and like just learning the ropes. So with that said, let me minimize the broadcasting software. I will put in, I guess, a description, maybe. But I'm unable to do it right now because I have to get some verification, and that takes like a day on average, it said. So I'm unable to do any links. But if there is anybody that watches this that wants to follow along, it's Unity Learn. And this is all free content, free learning. It's Unity Learn. You go to Pathways, and where I started was the junior programmer. And I did junior programming create with code 1. And there's a whole bunch of cascading modules and lessons that you can do. Let's see if I go to, just to give insight of where I'm at, because I did quite a few streams on Twitch. Let's see. Okay, so here's a decent idea of what I've done so far. Basically everything that is inside of the Create with Code 1. And all of that, I might just be able to upload it all onto YouTube. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's that necessary. It's mostly for my benefit to look back on things, and my benefit to, if there are questions that I don't have answered, I can kind of just clip those segments of videos. But if you're wanting to follow along by any chance, I would be starting on Create with Code 2. Also, let's see here. I believe it's free. Again, I'll put all of these in the description whenever I'm allowed to put links. But the one thing that I am following, if you go to Free Code Camp, and again, this is all entirely free, they're giving you a certificate to learn C#. So I've kind of started with that as well, and I'm doing these things simultaneously. I'll do a little bit of C# one day, and a little bit of Unity Learn the next day, and I'm going to see how it goes. So far, it's not been bad at all. But this is all free, and whenever you go to Free Code Camp, you just sign up with an email to create an account, and they will have you go to Microsoft Learn. Let's see. If you click on one of them, it'll actually give you the link. So then they'll take you to Microsoft Learn. You sign in there, and that is where I'll just show for clarity here. They have everything laid out for you. And it's been pretty simple so far. I ran into, I think, one problem where I installed, let's see, I installed a .NET download, and for whatever reason, my command prompt was not registering that I had it downloaded. It was continuously giving me an error, and that was the one thing that tripped me up for the day. I found on Reddit that nobody knew why, but just by deleting the files of the .NET out of your 86 or your program times 86 log, it'll register then. And it could be because of a duplicate file or something that ended up working. If anybody runs into that problem, I'd happily show them exactly what I did, but I think it was a pretty niche thing. Fortunately, somebody else had that problem, but so far I don't know, maybe 10 hours in on the C# stuff. And if anyone else is curious in learning C# in tandem with Unity, then this is the resource. But I'll definitely put it in the description or the title or wherever it allows me to put it whenever I'm verified. But most of my morning was spent trying to set up the streaming software to stream to YouTube this time, and getting clearance, and I think I had to apply a day before to stream on YouTube, and then I did some other verification steps, and I'm not even sure how the quality is going to look, to be honest. We will find out after the stream ends, and this might just be all a wash, and I never do it again. But on the chance that it is watchable and not terrible quality, I'm going to continue on as I usually do on Twitch. Okay. Unit 3, sound and effects. Get started. Introductory video for Unit 3, where you will learn to implement animation, sound, and particle effects. Awesome. Unit 3 introduction.
You know, if you take the word Unity and add an R sound, you get Unit Tree, which kind of sounds like Unit 3. It's a pretty amazing coincidence because we are about to start Unit 3.
Please don't make me cringe. Please don't do that.
In this unit, we will create a beautiful, fast-paced, endless side-scrolling game where the player needs to jump over obstacles in their path.
I like that.
Now, as you were watching and listening to that, you probably noticed that it felt a lot more polished than either of our previous prototypes. That's because it had animation, sound, and particle effects. Did you see the character running, jumping, and dramatically falling over? Did you hear the sound effects and music in the background? Did you see the little
yes.
particle effects kicking up from the back of the character's feet
That was
and the
kinda
massive
cute.
explosion at the end? It's these little touches that will take your good project and make it great. These elements help
Debatable.
immerse the player in the environment you've created. Being able to add them to your projects will be a literal game changer.
Okay.
So let's start creating.
Alrighty. Please don't do this. Okay. Why are you asking for my... What is you doing? Unit 3 introduction, I haven't even gotten there yet. You're gonna ask me for a review on the overview video? I mean, I did almost cringe, but no, I'm not gonna be negative. Jump force. No. What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. There was a video under that. Introduction. Oh, never, I thought this was a... Okay, now yeah, now I'm... Okay, Yeah, no, I'm there now. I'm caught up. I thought it continued on. Understood. Okay, overview. Goal of this lesson is to set up basic gameplay for this prototype. We will start by creating the new project and importing the starter files. Next, we will choose a beautiful background and a character for the player to control and allow the character to jump and tap this with the tap of the spacebar. We will also choose an obstacle for the player and create a spawn manager that throws them in the player's path at timed intervals. Cool. Project outcome. Yeah. Okay. Starter files.zip. I'll watch the. Is this the same overview video? If it is, I'm just going to exit out.
As usual, since we're starting a brand new prototype, the first thing we'll do is make some creative decisions.
Okay, never mind.
The basic premise here is that a character is running and jumping over things. But will it be a farmer jumping over crates in the wilderness, a construction worker jumping over barrels in a quaint town, a guy in a suit jumping over giant spools in a big city? These are decisions that only you can make. But after you've done that, we've got a lot of programming to do. Because by the end of this lesson, you will be able to press spacebar to jump over obstacles as they fly towards your character at high speeds. Now, we've moved objects around before, we've moved a vehicle left and right, we've made animals and food fly across the screen, but we use the translate method to do all of those things.
True.
And the translate method essentially drags the object through the scene at a particular speed, regardless of any laws of physics or how heavy it is. The way we're going to make this character jump is completely different. In order to get that smooth, realistic looking falling motion, we'll have to rely on Unity's physics engine, which takes into account the mass of an object, any forces acting on it, and gravity itself. So instead of translating this character,
Not to be overly critical, but I mean, any forces acting on it includes gravity. You know what I'm saying? I know. I hit myself.
up and down, we'll call the add force method to apply a single upward force on the character's mass, and then sit back and let the simulated force of gravity do its thing.
Okay.
So to make all that happen, I'll see you in Unity.
Alrighty. I don't know if they want me to download it, open prototype, and change background. Okay, yeah, so here they're going to talk about the downloading the file, so I'm just going to download it now. Okay. I'll bring this over here. Extract files, and we're going to put it in our create with code. Somewhere. Is it? Oh, it's already selected. Okay, cool. That'll do. Awesome. Alright, so it'll be there waiting for us. And let's see, I can launch. Yeah, I'll watch the video first. Very loud for me.
All right, so let's get started with prototype 3. Now I'm going to import the project files and set up my new Unity project, but since we've already done that, let me just open up Unity so that we can get going. Now I'm going to go into the scenes folder underneath my project window, open up prototype 3 by double clicking on it. I'm going to delete my sample scene by right clicking on it. Delete. Let me reposition my camera here. Oh, I'm on the other side. Okay, cool. So that looks like what's in our game view. And then last but not least, once I've had all of my assets imported, you can actually select the background object in the scene. On the right side, you'll see in the inspector for the background, this sprite renderer. Now a sprite renderer is a component that enables you to render or to see images in your game and in your environment. So in this case, we have this background image So
Okay.
we use our sprite renderer to actually see that image in our scene. Especially when you're making 2D games, sprite renderers are particularly useful. If you have a character with items or they're carrying something. So with our sprite renderer, on the right, there's a little property called sprite, and you can see currently it's set to background town. All the way on the right side of the inspector, there's this little circle icon. It's a radio button, so you can actually click on it. And there are all these different options. So there's in fact actually 3 different backgrounds we can use, so you can select one that works for you best.
Holy hell.
I kind of like this forest scene. It's very natural. It's got a lot of bright colors on it.
I don't know about that. Kind of gives me anxiety. Reminds me of those climbing games. Difficult game about climbing. And what's that other one? Getting over it? Yeah. Yeah, this makes my hands sweaty just by looking at it.
So now I can just close out of this window, and we have a background selected. All right, so what you're going to do is open up the Unity Hub and create a new Prototype 3 project.
Yes, sir.
Use the link below in the steps to download the project starter files.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to open the Prototype 3 scene and delete the sample scene.
Yes, sir.
And then you can select the background object in the hierarchy, and then in the sprite renderer component, you can go to sprite and select a new background image to use if you want to use the city, nature, or town background. So
Okay.
now it's your turn.
Alrighty. And away we go. Away we go. Okay, new project. It is 3D, right? Even though we're doing it 2D. Yeah. What did we name it? Sample Project 3. Prototype 3. Got you. Prototype 3. Good location. I don't really know about this Unity Cloud. I just always have it checked by default. Version control, what is this? Oh, okay. Well, it's me, myself, and I at the moment, so don't really need to worry about that. Could not connect project, try again. Excuse me? You try again. That's the reason I was going to do it before, is because it takes a little while. But they always say, watch, then do. So, yeah, I'm doing as I was told. Mm-hmm. So anything that has to do with a picture needs a sprite render. I wonder if that's what the effects are. Like the little effects that were behind his feet when he was running. I wonder if they're just sprite pictures. We'll find out, I guess. Dropped frame 60. Oh boy. Well, I'm not sure. It might be a Twitch thing that I stream to. Might just be a Twitch thing. I think the improvement in quality might be so unnoticeable that it might not even matter. I wanted to stream in 1080p, but that wasn't possible. All right. Got her loaded up. Almost, anyways. Okay. I thought it was almost done. We good? We're good? Okay. Assets. Import package. Custom package. Go to create with code. Number 3. Starter files. Okay. This, god damn. This is a lot. Wow. Wow. They gave us sounds and everything, huh? Jesus Christ. See, this is why people get like, like, oh, making games is easy. Go through tutorials like this and everything's just given to you. Like, I have no idea how to make any of this. Import. Damn. Well, it is dropping most of its frames right now. So I don't think the streaming to YouTube is going to work here. Yep. Unlucky. Alright. Back to Twitch I go.